Cynthia Ishaku, and here are the headlines. The LGBTQ agreement in Samoa, Nigerian government scholarship cut down, 4 mixing rumors in Malta regarding Dangote refinery, Sudan war anniversary, Lebanon airline cancellations, and here are the news in detail. The landmark agreement to promote and protect the LGBTQ rights has sparked global discussions. But what are the reactions in Nigeria? Our correspondents Patricia and Paul have been gauging reactions from Nigerians in Lagos and Kaduna states.
The reactions here in Kaduna have been varied and reflect the diverse opinion within our society. While some applaud Samoa's decision as a progressive step towards human rights, others view it from a more conservative lens. I spoke with individuals from different backgrounds and groups, and this is what they have to say.
I'm saying a big no to the Samoa agreement of the LGBTQ+, because it's just going to cause depreciation to our cultural norms and values. Though others see it as a progressive step to human rights, but I'm saying a big no to that.
Regarding the agreement, Samoa's agreement on signing in the LGBTQ, personally, I do not accept it. I do not go with it. And if you look at our country, Nigeria, we look at it from the religion aspect and look at it from the cultural aspect, you see that none of these people, this institution, support such. So I do not accept it.
The present state in Nigeria is devastating, as we can see. I think the more pressing needs that we have are poverty, insecurity, infrastructure, poverty, hunger. So I think the government should focus more on resolving this present, these pressing needs right now than this LGBT, Samoa, saga, whatever. There are more important things for Nigeria to think of right now. Those things are not our problem.
Well, I look at the content of the Samoa and it is their own decision and we respect it. But unfortunately, it contradicts and did not align with the belief and culture and tradition of our own country, Nigeria. So, meanwhile, it is unacceptable.
To provide more insight, I spoke with Dr. Amaka Okechi, a sociologist who specializes in Nigerian social dynamics and LGBTQ+ issues.
The reactions in Nigeria are deeply rooted in our cultural, religious, and social context. While urban areas and younger generations tend to be more accepting, there is still significant resistance in more traditional and rural communities. It's a complex issue that requires sensitive and inclusive dialogue.
The reactions here in Lagos State towards the recently signed Samoan LGBTQ+ agreement highlights the ongoing debate about LGBTQ+ rights in the country. While some sees this as a positive step forward, others choose to remain cautious, emphasizing on the need to respect traditional and cultural and religious beliefs. This divergence of opinion underscores the complexities associated with dealing with health issues around LGBTQ rights within a diverse country such as Nigeria.
In Nigeria, the government has announced significant cuts to its foreign scholarship program for students studying abroad. This discussion has sparked different concerns among affected students and their families. For more information on this news, we join our correspondents Edward Akas and Khadija Abdulaziz.
Thanks for joining us. My name is Edward Akas. Scholarship debacles. The Nigerian federal government has cut down scholarship allowances of Nigerian students studying abroad under the bilateral educational agreement. This action and decision has sparked a lot of reactions, and especially among students affected. Khadija Abdulaziz, what's happening over there?
Thank you, Edward. Reporting live from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The Nigerian students studying in foreign countries like Russia, Algeria, Morocco, and China are facing financial difficulties due to the 12.7% reduction in their allowances. Their monthly allowances was reduced from $500 to $220, while their graduation allowances was reduced from $2,500 to $2,000. The Nigerian president of foreign students, Ayuba Anas, has complained that there has been an outstanding unpaid stipend for 6 to 8 months. This decision has caused struggle for Nigerian students to meet up with their financial obligations. Other foreign countries like Russia showed their concern due to the academic performance of the Nigerian students. The Nigerian's decision has caused diplomatic tensions between Nigeria and other foreign countries upon the bilateral agreement that needs to be resolved. According to the interaction I had with some affected Nigerian students studying abroad,
it has been very tough for us, Nigerians, studying in a foreign country because of inflation, high standard cost of living, and increments in tuition fees.
I am devastated by the reduction of this scholarship. It's a heavy blow on my academic stability and academic goals. I rely heavily on this scholarship, which tends to pay for my tuition fee and living expenses. I hope the federal government look into this.
We will update you as the events keep unfolding. My name is Khadija Abdul Aziz, reporting live from Abuja, Nigeria.
In other news, there are growing rumors about fuel mixing in Malta that could potentially affect the operations of the Dangote refinery. Allegations also suggest Owando may be involved in a business conflict with Dangote. Our reporters are on ground in Malta to investigate these happenings.
Dangote has accused the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation of establishing a blending plant in Malta. He said that the establishment of this plant was meant to undermine the success of the Dangote refinery and to control the market when it comes to petroleum products. The CEO of the NNPC, Mele Kyari, however, has come out to debunk such claims, saying that there was no establishment of any such plant in Malta. And he says that if any plants was actually established, it in itself would not impact the NNPC's operation. He said that if he finds out that any staff has been involved in the establishment of such establishment, this however shows the achievement of the Dangote refinery on exporting the first shipment of jet fuel. This just goes to show that the Dangote refinery is capable of disrupting the traditional supply chain and making sure that Nigeria is now becoming a leading force in the exportation of fuel. However, the ongoing dispute has marked this great achievement as this national desire. Correctly, it now remains to be seen as the ongoing dispute will actually affect not just the company, but the economy as a whole. But that is a financial economy. Doctors, I believe you have extra information on the ongoing dispute.
Owando PLC is under fire for allegedly hindering the operation of Dangote's refinery. The energy company is accused of limiting the refinery's access to crude oil alongside other majors, creating artificial scarcity. Additionally, Owando is being investigated for importing substandard fuel. The Nigerian government is intervening in addressing this and promotes fair competition. Experts emphasize the importance for supporting the Dangote refinery to boost local fuel production and attract foreign investment in the oil and gas sector. Overall, the situation highlights the complex challenges within Nigerian oil sector, characterized by competition, allegation of unfair practices, and the need for balanced approach to resource allocation. Back to the studio.
Now on the foreign scene, we begin in Sudan, where the war that started on April 15 in 2023 has now lasted 1 year and 3 months. With no end in sight, the conflict between the military led by General Abdel Fattah Burhan and the Rapid Support Forces under General Mohamed Hamdan Dagalo has resulted in thousands of deaths and displaced millions. For a closer look at the situation, we turn to our correspondents Mejabi Timothy and Precious Zainom for further reports.
Sudan, a northeastern African country ravaged by war, faces serious hunger crisis. A year ago, the military and the Rapid Support Forces (RSF) clashed, leaving thousands dead and 8 million displaced. The United Nations warns of a serious hunger crisis, with 17.7 million people facing acute food insecurity. Justin Brady, head of the Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs (OCHA) in Sudan, described the situation as very dark. Speaking further, he said, "Famine isn't a word we use loosely. It's reserved for the direst situation, and that is where the Sudanese people find themselves. We've received reports of people dying of malnutrition, eating leaves, or going days without food." This is the situation over here. Precious, What is going on at your end?
The conflict has crashed food production, stalled imports, and driven staple food prices up by 45%. The UN warns of widespread death and total collapse of livelihood if immediate action isn't taken. The international community must act by pressuring the warring parties to stop fighting, fund the UN response plan, and also allow access to the worst hit areas. The situation is critical, with the potential for tens of thousands to die in the coming weeks and months. Sudan's future hangs in the balance. The country's hope for democratic rule after decades of military and Islamist rule are fading. The international community must act now to prevent a humanitarian disaster. I am Adamu Pasha Zainom, reporting live from Darfur, Sudan.
On the morning of July 2024, Lebanon woke up to the news of airlines cancelling flights, causing widespread fear. This comes in the wake of the latest Israeli Hezbollah rocket attacks. For more on the situation in Beirut and the potential impact on Nigeria, we go live to our correspondents, Judith and Bello.
At Beirut Airport has been disrupted due to the several weeks amid escalating tension between Israel and Hezbollah. Additionally, Lufthansa has suspended 5 routes to and from Beirut till 30th July as a precaution. This comes after a rocket attack in the Golan Heights, which killed 12 teenagers and children. Offending fears for potential full-scale conflict between Israel and Hezbollah. Over to Judith for more details.
Hezbollah has denied any involvement in the deadly rocket attack. However, the country's only airport and other airlines have cancelled flights. They are also yet to make comments about the cancellation. However, the cancellation have also affected Nigeria significantly. The attacks, whereby the country and Nigeria's business contract, which will lead to hindrance in business operations and increase in travel costs due to the hike in price of fuel and fare, which will further take a toll on the nation's economy. A cross-section with some of the respondents will explain more.
I am an investor in Lebanon real estate, but right now I'm afraid I'm losing my money because of the attack recently. My estate are at risk of being destroyed.
The cancellation of flights affected my business badly. I'm into distribution and sale of textile materials, and on the day the flight got cancelled, I was expecting a big shipment from Israel, and now customers have been calling. Their money have been moved. It has really affected my business a lot.
Back to the studio for other news.
Meanwhile, the world is closely watching the trial of Kimberly Schertzel, the head of the U.S. Secret Service, following an assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump. This case has captivated audiences globally. For the latest updates, we join our foreign correspondents, Praise Shehu and Mariam Aminu, reporting live from Washington, D.C.
The international community has been watching closely with reactions varying widely. Many countries are shocked that such a high-ranking official is being implicated in such a serious case. Allies of the United States have expressed concerns over the implications of international security cooperation, while some foreign nations are using the trial to criticize the stability and integrity of the U.S. government. Public trust is already fragile, and this trial could further lower confidence in government institutions. However, it could also be seen as a trial's outcome and subsequent actions taken by the government. It's a sensitive moment for the public trust.
The trial has been quite intense. The female head of the Secret Service, accused of negligence and conspiracy, has faced a series of implicating testimonies from various witnesses. The prosecution has argued that she failed to act on credible threats and may have been involved in a larger conspiracy. One of the most significant pieces of evidence in a series of emails and internal memos suggesting that the Secret Service had failed to act. Additional testimonies from other Secret Service agents had indicated there were clear lapses in protocol that were ignored or overlooked under her leadership. The defense, on the other hand, argues that the emails and memos have been taken out of context and the Secret Service head was failing standard procedures given the information available at the time. They also emphasized that the Secret Service is a vast organization with many moving parts, and it's unfair to place all the blame on one individual. They are pushing the narrative that this is a politically motivated trial.
Now on business news, turning to the global economy, luxury brands are feeling the pinch as Chinese shoppers, once a major driving force behind their sales, are now holding back in big-ticket purchases. We'll explore the reasons behind this trend and its implications for the global luxury markets. Our correspondents Amazing Grace and Mendwa Simon bring us the latest reports from Beijing, China.
China's economic slowdown and a crackdown on display of wealth have taken a significant toll on the luxury group industry, with top brands like Louis Vuitton, Moët Hennessy, Burberry, and Watch Group reporting declining sales as China government continues to scrutinize online display of luxury. And the economic struggle to recover from the pandemic, the industry outlook remains uncertain.
China's economic slowdown by verging on display of wealth are taking a toll on some of the world's luxury brands. Louis Vuitton, Moët Hennessy says its sales in Asia, which include China but not Japan, fell by 14% in the last month to the end of June, worsening from 6% decline in the first quarter. It comes as Chinese shoppers cut back expensive purchases and government censors shut down social media accounts of influencers who have shown their luxury goods online. LVMH, which is the world's largest luxury group, also said its overall revenue had slowed to 1% for the first year period. Still, the group's chairman and chief executive Bernard Arnault remained cautiously optimistic. He said the results for the first half of the year, LVMH showed remarkable resilience in a climate of economic and geopolitical uncertainty. While remaining vigilant in the current context, the group approaches the second half of the year with confidence, he told investors.
We will continue to monitor the situation and bring updates as more luxury brands report their financial results. And that's it from China. Back to the studio.
Finally, we report on the devastating landslide in Kerala, India, that has claimed the lives of 151 people, with hundreds more missing. For the latest updates, let's go straight to our correspondents on the streets of Kerala, Kiari Idris and Ayomikun Ibitomi, for more information.
Thank you for joining us live from India. I am Ayomikun Ibitomi. Massive landslide strikes Kerala, India, leaving a trail of destruction and death. Torrential downpours have battered the southern coastal state of Kerala, with blocked roads into the disaster area in Wayanad district.
Here in Wayanad district, where a massive landslide has struck, killing at least 151 people and leaving hundreds more missing. The landslide swept through several villages, destroying homes and livelihoods. Rescue teams are working tirelessly to search for survivors, but the task is challenging due to heavy rain and difficult terrain. The Indian military, National Disaster Response Force, and local authorities are involved in the rescue efforts. The affected villages include Mepadi, Munkadai, and Choramala, where many residents were trapped under debris. Relief camps have been set up to provide aid to those affected, but many are still waiting for help to arrive. The Kerala government has promised assistance include food, shelter, and medical care. The Indian government has declared the landslide a national disaster and has pledged support to affected families.
That's the report on massive landslide in Kerala, India, that left people homeless in the affected village. We will continue to bring you updates as more information becomes available. Back to the studio.
Now for a recap of the news. The LGBTQ agreement in Samoa, Nigerian government scholarship cut down, 4 mixing rumors in Malta regarding Dangote refinery, the Sudan war anniversary, the Lebanon airline cancellations, Kimberly Shuttle trial in the United States, the impact on luxury brands in China, and the Indian landslide. Thank you for joining us for the news at 7. I remain your host, Cynthia Ishaku. Thank you for staying with us for the news at 7. I remain your host, Cynthia Ishaku.